All right, welcome to my favorite YouTube channel. Your favorite YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking a little bit about Scalar 3 and a little bit of a rundown on what I've found. I decided yesterday to make the upgrade. I've been a Scalar user since 2020, for sure, if not maybe 2019. I'll have to check to see if it was even out in 2019, but for sure I know I used it a ton since 2020. Love the product. Scalar 2 is awesome. I've made a ton of tracks with it. So I decided to spring for the $29 and also spring for making a quick video about it so that I could, recoup some of my costs with the $1.37 that I'll probably make from this video. So when YouTube sends me the money on the 21st, I'll be doing well. I mean, think about it. $29, make a video, get $1.37 back, and I don't know, do the math on that one. I'm almost down to $27. It's interesting. It is a complete redo of the user interface and all the functionality, really. If you're going from Scalar 2 to Scalar 3, even if you watch some of the somewhat brutal introductory videos that they have available, you're not quite prepared for the experience until you dive in yourself. So I decided to dive in, and yesterday I did the purchase. I bought it from the upgrade from one of those, what is it? Maybe Plug-in Boutique. Not too painless with them. That's pretty quick. They send you the link. You get the download. Then the lack of information begins because you install it and then all of a sudden you find out like it's not showing up in Pro Tools. It's not working. So why isn't it working? Because now you need a Scalar account and a redeem code from Scalar. So there's some extra hoops. I think they should do a video about, hey, this is how you really should go about installing Scalar 3. I like right now that Scalar 2 stays in play in case I need to go back to it for other things, and I have a million sessions with Scalar 2 in it. So that would be a headache if it was totally replaced by Scalar 3, but it's not. So that was the install game. That went okay. Then I decided to try and I'm going to show you guys eventually, like, okay, this is Scalar. And I just did like a really quick little thing here that, anybody's free to steal or whatever. I may have taken the first chord progression I saw and messed around with it, just to try and get some understanding of what the hell is going on with this program. So this is a low effort video from a low effort YouTube channel for all my low effort subscribers and members and lurkers and all the D-bag shills that are floating around and all that. Feel free. It's free, I think. Well, I'm monetizing it so I can get my $1.37. So this is what it looks like. Well, there's many pages to Scalar now. I guess they're calling this the main page. Then there's the scale page. I don't know all the names. And then maybe this is like the main. This is the original one, sort of. The guy David Carbone talks a lot about like, oh, this is just like, you know, the original. There's nothing, there's almost nothing immediately like familiar except for all the names and stuff. But like everything's in a different place. Everything is more complex. I get it that they had to pull the Band-Aid off and just say like, here's Scalar 3. Because it's so not related to Scalar 2 in so many ways that I guess they just decided to go for it. There was no gradual way. I think at some point they had to just jump. And they jumped. I think they jumped a little early on certain things. I'll get into that. So if you're going to make the jump, I think you're going to have to go to some of the videos. I like the ones that David Carbone does. There's one other guy out there that does a decent job on Scalar. The plugin boutique guy does not. He doesn't know what's going on. I've given him a hard time before, but I mean that's just the way it goes. And I bought it through Plugin Boutique, so whatever. I was really excited to pull in the instruments with Scalar, so that you don't have to use all the internal sounds all the time. Even if you're using the internal sounds to build something, and then you're going to drag the MIDI tracks out to other channels and then switch over to your instruments. You know, I think that the idea that like you can start to hear things come together a little faster is pretty interesting. So I was very excited about the VST instruments being able to be pulled in, even though Pro Tools has an issue with VSTs. So I was a little confused. Like, is this going to work? Scalar did like this whole thing where it like scanned for all my VSTs and all my instruments and all the AUs and AX and everything. I think it did AX. So while you're watching that, you're like, yeah, this is all happening. This is going to be exciting. I can't wait. Let me pull up a track. Let me change the internal instrument to something else. So what that would look like, I would say, is the main track. I have the main track on an internal sound. So you would hit this little thing right here on the main track. That's your channel. That's your sound selection. You could choose from any of these and then choose from over here. I don't really like that when you switch to like say housey or from lo-fi, it will close this window immediately. Let me just show you. That's annoying. Like every time I want to go back to a different sound, something's up with that. That could be a Pro Tools thing. That could be just a Scalar isn't finished yet. Like, why can't you play the track and pop around on a couple of different sounds, patches, without it closing the window every time on you? So on the VST thing, it did the whole scan thing and nothing showed up. Nothing. So I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with, is it Pro Tools? Does Pro Tools still not work with VSTs within this thing? Tried a couple of tricks. As it turns out, it seems as though the only way I was able to fix it was I had to manually indicate the folder where my VSTs and VST3s are. Then it found them. Then it started working. On the standalone, I could be all over the place in this video. On the standalone, it's buggy as hell. The patches were not coming through. I was dialing up something like this Analog Lab V3. Now, why won't it show me? Okay, come on. It's not a good look right here. Okay. So once you load up something like Analog V3, boom. Analog Lab, you can poke through your sounds and find something you like. I think I just lost what I had. I don't remember what I had. Let's see. Does undo work? I don't think it worked. Analog Lab. Let's see. Because this is already selected, it won't let me select it. So you can see there's some quirks. Come on. I'm double clicking on you. Oh boy. Let's go to VST3. Analog Lab. Something's happening. Let's see. I don't hear anything. Okay, so the patch clearly has changed. I don't remember what it was. I'll have to... What was it? Dark keys? I don't know. There's a little... I don't think it was that either. So anyway, I'm going to mute that track because that's just absolutely disgusting. I don't remember. So this was dark. Yeah, the bass... I remember what that was. Wow, what was it? Anyway, too late on that one. So as you can see, it's not super smooth yet. It does work out, like you can do things like you have inserts now and you can, there's some quirkiness. Let's just say that. Because on this insert, I put the Echo Boy Junior on that with a delay. Okay, so if you click on the little control thing, that's interesting. So we're learning something new right here every day. So maybe like when you click on this, yes, it'll give you so you click on the little control thing, then you don't have to reload the program. These are all little things you have to kind of try and find out and figure out as you go along. When you're on a internal sound like Celestial Existence right here, when you click on the control knob or whatever you want to call that, parameter knob, it'll give you this little new thing they came up with an ADSR filter reverb delay thing. I think it's a work in progress. I'm hoping that there's going to be revisions. So like this allows me to call up my vintage compressor that I threw on my main keyboard. So you could solo things in the track. You could solo things within Scalar. So that's within Scalar, I'm soloing the main track. You could turn on and off the performance right here. So that now it's just straight chords. And that's with this lo-fi with some delay on it. That's an internal sound. The Echo Boy is what's giving you the echo. See, you can't hit play when that's open. That's kind of weird. So I'll turn up the delay so you can really hear what's going on. You can unsolo. So the way this works is you pull in your main chord progression thing here at the top called the main track. That's where you can do all the usual scalar stuff with performances. And I mean, they have so many things now with regards to, expressive things, chord articulations. I mean, it's all great and it's all insanely powerful. It's just that, it's got little things to work out. Is this stuff that we should be sending the information to Scalar so that they can work through these things? Or are they just going to be overwhelmed with idiots going like, why can't I get my track to sound good? This is the low effort YouTube mentality that's out there that you have to watch out for. I don't envy Scalar because, there's a lot of nuts out there. So they're in for it. They should have, I would suggest that they get some sort of a pro connective thing where it's like, hey, if you're really in the game and you're really making tracks or making music to make a living and you are legitimately not a nutbag, we'd love to hear your insight on some real world application and real world quirks, things that would like actually hold up a real session. Is that too much to ask in today's world of YouTube D-bag lifestyle, gear whore things? Probably. I think that's enough for today. I'll be doing more on my live stream probably Friday night to show some of the guys and girls that that truly love this, my favorite YouTube channel like I do. Hitting the button.